Hey guys, it's Melissa here from melissaoatman.com. Welcome to Awaken Your Inner Awesomeness, a daily podcast devoted to spirituality and self-help. If you're new, welcome. And if you are returning, welcome back. So today, as I was doing a meditation and asking my guides what people needed to hear the most, I was guided to talk about finding strength when it feels like it would be easier to give up. I know that many of you have been going through a tremendous shift in energy. Many of you are going through a spiritual awakening, and it can be a very confusing and difficult time. But I just want you to know that the universe has your back, and the universe wants you to know that you're always being provided for and taken care of. So please don't give up, even though it feels like that would be the easier thing to do. Don't give up on yourself. I don't know who needs to hear this message, and maybe many people do, and maybe sometimes I feel like I need to hear it myself. But we aren't sent here to go through things to simply just say, well, I quit. It would be really, really easy to do that. But we have to pull from our inner strength in order to get through situations. The thing that I think the universe wants you to know the most is that you have everything within you right now to carry on, to be successful. When things come up against us and we have challenges in our life, we feel like this is just the universe or God saying, no, this isn't for you. And that isn't always the case. Sometimes tests are thrown our way to see, are we ready to handle this? Are we really ready to take this on? In my own life, starting a business has been one of the most challenging things that I have ever done. I mean, being a single mom and raising children was very challenging, but I never really thought about it. I just did it because I knew I had to. In starting my own business, this is something I chose to do. And it hasn't been something that just was overnight success. It wasn't. For me, it was a very slow building process, and I have put a tremendous amount of blood, sweat, and tears into this business. And sometimes there are, weeks where it feels like not a whole lot is happening. But I know in my heart and in my gut, it's my intuition telling me that there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. Because what might seem like a week where nothing happened, the very next week, I'll get a message from someone that said, last week I found your podcast. I was listening to something else and your podcast just popped on in the middle of whatever else I was listening to, and I had never heard of you before, and I had never seen your podcast before, and I couldn't stop listening. And so to me, that is my proof that the universe is saying, look, we were working behind the scenes on your behalf and you didn't know about it. You didn't even know. But I don't let those times where it seems like nothing is happening, I don't let that bother me. In the beginning, I did. When I first started this business, I felt like I constantly had to be worried about it. I had to have control of everything. I had to make sure that I had everything taken care of. And what I can tell you is that the times when I try to step in and control everything, that's when it feels like there's stagnation. Like nothing's happening. It's when I let go and I just, I show up, I put myself out there, and then I meditate and say, okay, universe, whatever you have in store for me, however you want to use me, however I can be of service, please use me to do so. And then I let it go. And it's the times that I do that things show up for me and it's like, wow, that's incredible. And there's so many people that I've been able to, and fortunate enough to be able to work with, who are amazing. And I know that those people wouldn't have found me if I had given up, or if I tried to step in and say, okay, universe, I'm going to try to control how this shows up for me. Because whenever I try to do that, I get in my own way and I'm my own blockage. And I feel like there's so many of you out there who want to give up, but the universe is telling you not to give up. Instead, you might want to refocus your attention. That's what I said. Refocus your attention. Remember how we talked about when you are focused on the lack and that nothing is showing up, you keep experiencing more lack because your attention is focused on the wrong thing. This is a difficult concept when you first really try to get into this mindset, because it's natural for us to want to focus on what's not here, what's not showing up, what I cannot see. But when you're working with the universe and you're co-creating with the universe, it's all about having faith. There is that verse in the Bible that says we have to have faith as little as a grain of mustard seed. And it's true. When you're working with the universe, what is really required of you is faith. Having faith, even though I cannot see that things are happening behind the scenes, even though I don't know it for sure, I have faith that that is what is happening. And the universe says, let us do this. We got you. We've got this. And when you really understand that, you're calling more peace into your life, because what you're doing is you're trusting and having faith that there's a higher power that wants you to be successful and is giving you all the things you need to be successful. But they're saying, okay, you do what you can do on your end, and then don't worry about it. Don't stress. Don't have anxiety. Don't panic. Because when you have anxiety and worry and stress and panic, you are not living your best life. No one wants to live that way. So when you stop stressing about it and you just let it go and release, you surrender, life becomes so much easier. The universe wants us to focus our thoughts on positive things, on feeling good. It's like your one job is to feel good all the time. And when you don't, it's because you're choosing to focus on the wrong thing. If I were to focus on, I have to have this many clients, or I have to make this happen, I have to have this many podcast followers. If I were to sit and focus all of my attention on that, I would be stressed out nonstop. I would be a big ball of nerves. I would have gray hair. I would be so tired all the time. And I'm human. There are times when I catch myself falling into that trap of, well, you need to have, you need to do, you need to. And I have to stop myself and just surrender again. And it's never too late if you catch yourself in the middle of one of those, I call it a downward spiral. You have one negative thought and it just goes down and down and down. It grows and you get more and more and deeper into those negative thoughts. It's never too late to pull yourself out of it. And that takes a lot of strength to do that. But the universe wants you to know that you have the strength within you to do that. You have the strength to pull yourself out of anything. Because it's all your thoughts. And you always have a choice in what you choose to think about. And if you're like me, I can think about something until, my brain is a weird thing, because I can think about one thing and it leads to like 50 other things until I get to the point where I'm like, how did I get on this topic? And I don't know if anybody is the same way. Maybe it's just the ADD. I have no idea. No, I'd never been diagnosed with ADD, but I feel like, I will start thinking about, dogs, for example. And then I think about, oh, well, the certain breed of dog, and oh, that person has that breed of dog. And then, oh, and that person's mother, oh, and this. And then all of a sudden I'm thinking about a completely different topic. And I'm like, how did I get onto this topic? Like, how did my brain get there that fast? It just spirals and spirals and spirals. And in the same way, you can do the same thing with negative thoughts. You can think, well, what if I don't have enough money this paycheck? Well, what if then I don't have enough the next? Well, what if that turns into debt? Well, what if I have to take out a loan? Well, what if I have a credit card? And it just spirals and spirals and spirals, and you just become more and more anxious, concerned, stress, whatever you want to call it. And you have the ability to stop that. You're doing that to yourself. The universe isn't sitting there, and your guides aren't in your ear going, you need to worry about money. Why aren't you worried about money? Your guides don't want you to be worried about money. If anything, your guides are there saying, stop it. We've got you. You're going to be taken care of. You just need to let go and relax a little bit. I'm sure if they were with you with a cocktail, they'd be like, here, have this. Stop it. You're driving yourself crazy, and you're driving us crazy too, because you're not listening to us. Your guides are there telling you to stop worrying about it. You're a child of the divine. You're always going to be taken care of. Always. And guys, when I choose to focus on the problems and what could happen, what might be, I end up calling in this whole mess of things that happen. It's like unexpected expenses come in because it's like I'm calling it in because I'm worrying about it. But when I stop and I say, okay, it's no big deal. I have an example for you too. My sweet little Nala yesterday was running around in the yard, and she landed down on her leg, her paw, the wrong way, and we thought she broke her paw. She squealed, and I've never heard her make a noise like that, and she couldn't get up, and we panicked. We absolutely panicked. And we have a vet hospital that's like 5 minutes from us, open 24 hours. We're like, let's take her because, we called and we said, we're not sure. They said, just bring her in. And of course we panicked, and it's pouring down rain. I go to get in the car, and I smacked my head on the corner of the door. I was so panicked. It's like a child, you've got to get your child to the vet. Hit my head, and I have a knot on my head today. And all of these things start happening, and we start to panic. And I immediately stopped after I hit my head. I think the hitting my head on the door was the wake-up call, right? That happens to me sometimes. It's weird. A physical thing will happen to snap me out of my thought processes. Stop going down this panic mode, worry about everything. So that happened to me. I hit my head, and then I was like, okay. I'm not going to panic. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine, but we're going to take her and get it checked out. And the first thought too was, oh, this is probably going to be expensive because, hospitals for humans can be expensive. And for animals, we don't have pet insurance. So I'm thinking, okay, this could get expensive. And then I dismissed that thought. I said, nope, it's going to be fine. So we went and we took her, and they charged us a $95 fee to see her and do the exam. And they said, nope, she doesn't need an x-ray. She didn't break it. It's fine. She just landed on it wrong, and it probably shocked, the way she landed, it sent a shock up her nerves, and that really scared her probably. And it hurt. But she's okay now. She's walking it off. And they gave her some medicine, and it was fine. I was expecting it to cost way more than that, and it didn't. And I was expecting her to be really hurt, and she wasn't. So when I stopped that thought process and said, okay, this is not going to be a big deal, it wasn't. And when I didn't worry about the money, it wasn't a big deal. It turned out being very, to me, that was a pretty good price for emergency and being 24 hours, and they were great with her. And it was like, well, now we know this place is here too. So it all ended up being fine and great. But I could have made things a lot worse for myself if I had let that panic continue to grow and grow and grow. You know, I feel like a lot of times we call things in when we focus on the wrong thing. And, you know, today Nala's back to her normal self and she's perfect and back to wanting to look everyone's face and being sweet. So it worked out. It worked out. And the point is that I think sometimes we're sent tests too to see, like, how are you going to react to this? And I truly believe that a lot of things that happen are a test for how are you going to handle that? And sometimes it's a test too if you're starting your own business for, are you ready for this? Can you handle this? Because if you're asking for lots of money, the universe wants to know, well, if we send it to you, can you handle it? You think about all those people who win the lottery and they go back and visit them years later and they're broke and their lives are like ruined. They say winning the lottery was the worst thing that ever happened to them because they were not ready for what was going to happen. You know, number one, they didn't know how to invest money. So they just blew it all on crazy things and didn't realize they were going to have to pay taxes. And then people came out of the woodwork for them to like, oh, I need a handout. Please help me. And it's just crazy things like that because they didn't know how to spend it. They weren't prepared for what to do with this large amount of money. So those of you who are manifesting a lottery win, can you handle it? The universe wants to know that. They might test you to see if you can. You know, so many people are like, well, if I win the lottery, I'm going to go out and buy blah, blah, blah. And they, you know, all the things they have planned for, it's like a waste, you know? And yes, if you win a lot of money, of course, it's your right to spend it however you see fit. But for me, it's like, if I have more, I can help more. And knowing that if I'm entrusted with a large amount of money, I'm going to invest so that it becomes a legacy for generations to come, not blow it all in one place. And, you know, so that's a test too sometimes. Are you ready? Can you handle it? And I think sometimes we fail that test, you know, because if we're given a lump sum of something, do we pay things off or do we just go frivolously spend it? I don't know. What do we do? But I know that the universe is saying to you that you can make it through anything. You have all of the tools that you need within you. You absolutely do. But it's what are you choosing to focus on? What are you choosing to see? You know, if you are a person who is struggling with financial debt, and I understand, I've been there. And I incurred a little debt trying to open my own business, but nothing like crazy or anything like that. To me, it was like no big deal because I'm investing in myself, and that's how I see it. But others, you know, through maybe bad decisions, credit card debt is definitely an easy thing to rack up. You know, you think I'll pay for this, I'll get it now, I'll pay later, and then the interest rates just go out of hand. They skyrocket once you get past the promotional 0% APR. And now you've got like, you're paying 30% interest or 27 in a lot of cases, or I don't know, even more maybe. And it's like you're making the minimum monthly payment, but it's not doing anything except paying the interest. And that's very frustrating because it's like you're not seeing any progress. If that's you, I would encourage you really to sign up for this new course that Heather, Doran, and I are starting, because she's going to talk to you about how to get control of that. And the thing is, for many of us, it's just we don't know. We don't know how. We've never been taught. When I went to school, I had to take a personal finance course, but it was more about writing checks and doing your taxes and things like that. There was never really a lot of education about opening credit cards and what the credit card debt could do. And when you get to college, it's like those credit card companies prey on you. They're like, open a credit card and then you can buy anything you want and pay it later. And they don't explain the interest that grows when you don't pay it, and when all you're making is the monthly payment, the minimum. And so if that's you, first of all, do not feel bad, because many of us have not been properly educated about finances. We just aren't. Companies prey on people who are living from paycheck to paycheck. And if you feel like that's you, oh my goodness, this course is going to help you so much, because you're going to get a hold of your finances. Heather's going to work with you to show you how to get everything together, how to pay things off, how to budget, how to live your best life and not feel like you're living paycheck to paycheck. She's going to look at your old money stories. And I'm going to work with you on healing and forgiving those old money stories and blasting through any blocks you have for love and money. So if you've been stuck in relationship circles where you keep feeling like you're going around and around and you keep making the same mistakes and you keep repeating the same patterns, I'm going to help you with that. We're going to go back and heal those old emotional wounds when it comes to love and money. We're going to show you how to live your best life possible. You'll have weekly lessons that are online that you work through, and then we're going to meet every other week to answer questions, to work with you one-on-one. I'm going to be doing a group Reiki session to help you guys heal some of that old emotional stuff. And I'm going to be doing a past life regression with the group to help you look at any past life where love or money was an issue for you. And we're going to go back and heal that, because when we don't heal things from our past lives, we bring those karmic lessons with us into the next life. We keep repeating those patterns until we recognize them and heal them. So if this sounds like something you want and you need in your life, don't wait. Sign up, because it's 12 weeks. It's manageable, bite-size lessons, and we are going to catapult you to living your best life. And everyone deserves that. Everyone. Plus, you will have myself and Heather to ask questions. We'll be there for you every step of the way. And it's like having one-on-one coaching, but you're in a group setting, so everyone's going to get what they need. All right, guys. Well, just know the universe is telling you, trust in yourself, okay? You can do anything. You have the strength within you. You are powerful. You're mighty. You're beautiful. You are deeply loved. Know that whatever you're going through, your entire spiritual team is there with you. And they're just asking you to give it to them and let go. And you know what? If you don't even know where to go, you know what I pray sometimes? I pray, can you bring the people into my life who can help me? And it's amazing who shows up. People show up and they're like, oh, here, I have this class, and it's exactly what I need at that time. And it's amazing how that happens. So think about the different ways you can ask for help. It doesn't necessarily have to be bring me the money so I can be debt-free, although you can pray that. But sometimes it's bring me the people who can help me. Bring me the knowledge I need to help me help myself. And they're listening. They're listening. They want you to let go and stop worrying, stop having anxiety, stop stressing, quit focusing on the lack, and focus on what's coming, because you have blessings with your name written all over them, and they're coming. You just have to let go of when and how they show up. All right, guys, I wanted to pull I was going to pull a card for you from the Archangel Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue, and 2 came out. And so I always feel like when 2 come out, that's because somebody needs those messages. So I went ahead and took both. The first one is Hello from Heaven. It's Archangel Azrael. Your loved ones in heaven are doing fine. Let go of worries and feel their loving blessings. And you know what? That's another thing. We have our ancestors on the other side who are also trying to guide us and help us. So if you have been praying, they hear you. And this is your message. They're hearing you. And they're telling you to let go of the worry. Let it go. And feel their loving blessings, because they are with you. And there is a beautiful angel on this card, and it's Archangel Azrael. And her hand is outstretched, and it's like, I've got you. I've got you. Let go. And your next card is All is Well. Guys, you can't make this up. This is a definitive message for some of you, probably all of you. But it's Archangel Jeremiah. It says, everything is happening exactly as it is supposed to. With hidden blessings you will soon understand. You have blessings coming. It just twice it told you have blessings coming. Believe it. Let go. Everything is happening exactly as it is supposed to. This is your sign not to worry anymore. Let it go. All right, guys. Well, if you are interested in my course that is coming up, please go to my website for more information. And then there is a link that will take you to Heather's website, but that is where you will sign up for that course. All of the details are there. And if you are interested in a purposeful pilgrimage, there's so many ways to work with me. I get it. Finances can be an issue, and I understand that. So many ways to work with me if you need anything. You can do a purposeful pilgrimage. My online course is still available. It's 23 daily lessons that you can take at your own pace. Things like how to blast through money blocks, how to blast through blocks to love, how to heal emotional wounds, how to forgive yourself and others. There are prayers, tapping, so many different things. And I modeled it after the program that I did with Julia Treat, which was a spiritual boot camp, and it changed my life. It was the catalyst that changed my life. So check that out. It's $88, but I have payment plans, so go check that out. You'll have access to that forever, so you can take your time going through those lessons. And you have to pay first, and then on there it says request to be a site member. When I get those from you all, that tells me that you want to enroll in that course, and that's fine. You can request first, but you need to let me know that's what you're wanting to do, because unless you pay for it, I don't know if you're just trying to request to be a member or if you want to be in the class. But requesting to be a site member is for people who want to enroll in a purposeful pilgrimage. So when you pay and then you request, I send you a login. And then you'll have that login, and you can log in anytime from anywhere, from your phone, from your laptop or home computer. So that is what that is all about. I have Reiki sessions, though, coaching sessions, a lot of ways you can work with me, readings. So go to my website and just check all of that out. I still have those guided meditations for sale, too. And you can check out my Facebook Live. I do card readings there. You can go back and watch the ones from the past if you missed them. And I do them every Tuesday at 7 Central, so you can join me live. We always have a good time, and there's always good discussion whenever I go live. So don't forget to join me. And again, if you like this podcast, please share it with others. Please subscribe. And please leave feedback, because that helps others find me as well. And I really, really do appreciate you all. I love you all. I am sending you massive love and light. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.